And now to mark the angle iron for cutting, it's 2 meters. We're going to cut it in half and have two 1 meter sections. My build is based on a video I watched from Jesse Mullen of Mullen the Maker, probably the most easy and simple video that I found on YouTube. And now to swap out my wood disc for a metal cutting disc. Right here the spanner slips and my finger smashes into the guardrail. That hurts like a son of a gun. I am so happy right now that you cannot see my face in this shot. Here I'm just cleaning the edges, making sure there's no sharp bits. And now it's time to measure the space I'm going to need with the router. Now I'm marking and cutting all the wooden components for the sled. And now to measure up for drilling to bolt the wood to the angle iron. So this is an 8mm wood bit. And for my pilot holes into the angle iron, this is a 3mm steel bit. I remove the wood and clean it up a little bit, and then apply some oil to the pilot holes for my bigger bits. And here I'm using an 8mm steel bit. I found some 8mm bolts and nuts that I had lying around that turned out to be the perfect length for this. Then exactly the same for the opposite side. Now I'm marking up to drill holes and join up a rail guide while my fire crackles away in the background. Here I'm cleaning up any pokey pieces. I didn't have any large head screws with me, so what I'm doing is making a wooden cap to go on top of the angle iron. And this is the rail guide, and I went ahead and made one for the other side as well. So it's a new day. You can see on the right of the screen there the sled is finished, and now it's time to build a bed for the sled. And this was probably the most frustrating day I've had so far. I just could not get these dimensions right quickly. I spent hours walking around and pondering and thinking whether I should go and buy shop pieces already cut, and milling around looking what I had in my tiny little shop. And so this is starting in way after I started, when I started to kind of get things the way I wanted in my head. And yeah, this is me putting the bed together. So I cut the frame exactly to size with the sled, and I'm going to have to shave a couple of mils off of the frame to get this thing running smoothly. So I dismantled the bed completely and started again. So this is a more comfortable fit, and now I just need to polish the rails up for a bit of a smoother glide. So I spent about 10 minutes on each rail using 80, 120, 320, 500 and 1000 grit to give it a nice smooth finish. And the final result, you can see a much smoother action. And if you look in the front of the frame, you can see I've attached the bed to my table with those 90-degree metal pieces on the front and the back. Now it's time to put the slab in the bed and try it out for size. As I push this heavy board over the rail, I'm very conscious of my fingers. And then a quick dry test, running everything through its paces. Tomorrow I will go in search of a flattening bit for the router. All I have with me is this 6mm straight bit, but I want to see how this thing works. So I found a sticky out piece and ran it. Yep, I think this is going to work just fine. See you again tomorrow.
So I'm back from hunting for a flattening head for the router, and also bought some lithium grease that I'm going to use to coat the rails. And so I got myself a flattening head. Oh my god, that is the size. This is the biggest size I could find. So I'm gonna have to make about 600 passes on this table, and yeah, see what this little baby can do. There's nothing else bigger in the area, and if I order bigger, it's gonna take months to get you. I think, yeah, months. But yeah, so there it is. Let's give this little baby a try. So let's put this head onto the router.
I also coated the left and right rails. While I'm checking the full motion out of the sled, I am looking for the lowest point on the slab, and I will use this point to set my plunge depth on the router, so that while I'm working I cannot plunge any deeper than this point, and that will even the slab out. Here I'm looking for that point, and I discover that not only are my rails too high, the bit is too small, so it's not touching the bottom mark, and I have to somehow raise the slab. A couple of MDF boards did the trick nicely, kept it level and raised the slab up enough for the router bit to make contact with the bottom plunge point.
Alright then, let's do it. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
I needed to keep taking the sawdust away, so when I moved the slab around in the bed, it stayed level.
I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring. Yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring. How you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart? Are you mean? Got some scars, got some knees.
So it's level. It's beautiful, but I suggest spending the money to get this planed. This took hours of work, and the result is beautiful, but holy hell, that is hard. It's going to take me 2 days to clean up the sawdust off the floor, but yeah, we have beautiful, even, smooth results, and tomorrow I will start the bottom and then cut the sides, but right now I think I'm going to go and have a hot shower and fall into a coma for the night. Today I have some guys from Uzbekistan working outside, and I'm going to try and put my camera on time lapse, see if I can get a time lapse of this until the battery runs out. And I flipped the board over, I vacuumed and dusted everything away, and I'm going to flatten the bottom. Yeah, let's see what happens.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, I'm losing shit. A stupid myth, you choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord,
There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause us.
So today we've got the whole of Uzbekistan working outside, cutting wood. But the top and the bottom of the table are finished. They're pretty level. Maybe a little bit in this corner here. Bottom. Nice and smooth. So now we have to cut the sides, cut it to size 600 to 800. I have no idea how I'm going to do that because my saw is too shallow. But yeah, we'll make another plan. So a week has gone by, winter has gone and we are officially in spring, the snow's melted. I've had a change of heart in that time. I've been thinking about the epoxy, which is really expensive for a project like this. On a river table where you can see all the epoxy, it has that visual effect, but here with the depth of the table I'll be using the same amount of epoxy, but you will only see like 1% of it on the gaps. So I'm going to use more sawdust and glue, sand that off, get this polished up. I've just measured it for cutting, 600 by 800. My circular saw is a little bit shallow, but hopefully I have a plan that is going to work, so I'm going to take it for cutting. So of all the tools that I'm learning to use, this thing scares me the most. It's basically a table saw that you're holding in your hand. And yeah, I haven't figured out why yet. Sometimes when I use it and I cut, it jumps back and it's like got a demon inside it. I hate this thing. But we're going to mark the table up and I'm going to use a straight edge drill inside to guide me through, and yeah, let's see what the result is.
As you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away.
So as I start cutting, the table starts moving. So this was a kind of stupid idea that really didn't work at all. Just never ever do this. I chopped away. Here I use the claw part of the hammer and weaken this joint. So I carried on cutting all the marks on all four sides, and then I found a much easier way. I just flipped the board over, redid the marks and cut the bottom the same, and it turned out perfectly. here I'm immortalizing a screw in the body of the table. And then I went to reinforce that section that I weakened with the claw hammer. And this is the bottom section, sawdust and glue.
Okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
So the next morning, and I removed the clamps from the reinforced area and then start scraping off all the excess glue and sawdust. And I also sanded it down a bit. And then I used wood filler on the table. I want to use wood filler on the whole table. I think the final results with this color will be amazing. In everyone's favorite day, leg day. I had no idea how to do it, although I did have an idea in my head that I wanted square legs. So here I'm just cutting and flying by the seat of my pants, trying to come up with some idea. I tried to use those big clamps that I made for the major glue up, but it didn't work. It was pulling it completely skew. So I ended up drilling holes through it, putting a big wood screw in, and then drilling a bigger hole and knocking a wood dowel and gluing that inside. And the next morning it's time to cut off the protruding parts of those dowels I used. And then on to sanding down those dowels to get them nice and flush and smooth, and any parts that I might have missed, and filling up those gaps at the joins with some wood filler, and then into the drying room. And yet another day has passed. It's time to take that rough wood filler and smooth everything off, and just go over everything with a fine tooth comb. I think I went down to 120 grit on this. And here I am putting the top 2 cross beams in. Same thing, drilling holes, putting a wood screw, and then covering the larger hole with a wood dowel. And with that done, it's time to put on the bottom cross piece. And I took the wrong measurements and I cut the inside instead of the outside measurements, and it's too short. But after a bit of pondering, I worked it out, and it actually worked out better than I'd planned. A little bit more work on the legs and it'll be finished. To the drying room, and tomorrow I'll cut the dowel ends off and sand it. And the last thing for the day was to completely saturate the bottom of the table in wood filler. And then into the drying room for tomorrow.